I love a theme, don't I? So we're celebrating the Jubilee. I'm in red, white and blue just for that purpose, and expect a yoga flow with many tenuous links to Queen, corgis and crowns. Enjoy. So we're going to start seated. Take a comfortable seat, cross-legged. If that feels good to you, you can always sit back on your heels if that feels better. And just lay your palms down onto your knees, your thighs. And if it feels comfortable to do so, close the eyes. And let's take a couple of deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose. Send it out through the mouth. And then just steady your breath. Now maybe drawing it in and out through the nose. And just allow yourself to settle. We're not going to be here for too long today. So just give yourself a moment to explore how you feel physically and emotionally. Where you're starting from today. Maybe taking a moment to breathe away, to try and discard some of the thoughts or things that were on your mind before you got onto your mat today. Just taking a moment. And then really gently, you're going to flutter open your eyes. We're going to start strong with the Queen Jubilee theme. Can you rise your arms all the way up on an inhale? And on an exhale, as if you're putting on a big old robe ready for your coronation, can you place your fingers onto your shoulders, like you're putting that robe onto your back? So kind of lift the chest, roll those shoulders back. Nice, yes. Now can you take some circles with the arms? So lift the elbows up and towards each other. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. And take them all the way round, as far back and as far forward as you can. Maybe getting some little cricks and cracks. Really getting yourself settled in the robe that you're wearing for the next however long I end up blabbering on for. And then can you just take that back the other way? So take those elbows round the other way. Try and keep them as big as possible. So trying to draw those elbows in as close to each other as you can. Finding some space in the shoulders. And then the next time that you come out to this shape, to your elbows out to the side, can you just start to twist to the left, come back to center, twist to the right, back to center, twist to the left. So finding a kind of twist right from the core as we keep this kind of upright position. Got a lot of those positions today for that kind of grace that comes with being part of the royal family, right? So just take a couple more side to side, a couple more times, and then bring it back to center. Rise the arms all the way up and then press the hands down beside you. Release it out and just take a little wiggle with the shoulders. It's quite a big opening for the shoulders. Now let's press the hands over the feet. We're going to come straight back to a downward facing dog, or for today, a downward facing corgi. So you're going to tuck your toes, press your hips up towards the ceiling. And just make sure that those fingers are spread, that you've got some length between your hands and your feet. As you hinge at the hips, pressing your hips up, looking back to those shins. Lovely. Roll those shoulders and those kind of outer arms, you're almost rotating them out. Yeah, take a deep breath here. Heavy your heels a little closer to the floor. And then start to take some steps up towards your hands. Take these steps slowly, as elegantly as you can, walking all the way up to the top of your mat. Maybe find a fold. Release the tip of your head down. Really take this opportunity to fold. We've started to kind of open up the body and stretch. Let yourself bow down here. Let yourself dangle. Maybe take some yeses, some nos with the head, just to release the neck. And then tuck your chin into your chest and let's start to roll ourselves up. Take your time. Coming all the way up, rising the arms as you go. And we're going to take this a couple of times. So let me just face you for 1 second so that you can see what I'm doing. As we exhale, we're going to crown ourselves. Place that crown on your head. But can you open those elbows up wide so the shoulders are almost rolling down the back as you lift yourself up? Lovely. Then as you next inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, send your bum back, arms out to the side as you fold all the way back down. Inhale, hands come to your shins as you find a little lift of the chest, press that bum back. Exhale, send it down, bring the hands to the mat, right and left foot back, downward facing dog. Corgi, yes, downward facing corgi. Shift on over to your plank, lower those knees, and then send the elbows back towards your toes as you lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Just take a moment here. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders or just in front. Spread those fingers and gently roll yourself up to a cobra shape. Rolling your shoulders back, pressing your hips and the tops of your feet down into the mat. Exhale, release it all the way back down. We're going to press up to our knees, tuck our toes, and then press the hips high, downward facing corgi. Lovely. Take a deep breath here. Or a triumphant off. Probably a lot deeper than a corgi would sound, right? Much more high pitched, I'm imagining, for a corgi. Take one more deep breath here. And then can you start to walk all the way up towards your hands once more? Take your time. How slow can you make this walk? Like you're almost kind of walking down a tightrope or down like the aisle to get to that coronation. Probably a bit scared, probably a bit of fear, apprehension in there, but equally excitement. Not rushing it, taking your time. Dangling here, tucking chin into chest, and then roll yourself all the way up. Bringing your hands up as you come up to the top of the mat, and then finding that crown again. So exhaling, bringing those hands down on top of the head, opening those elbows out, rolling the shoulder blades down and back. Lovely. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, take the arms wide, bum goes back, fold it down. Inhale, hands come to shins, find that little half lift. Exhale, release it down, step left and right foot back, downward facing corgi. Inhale, shift over to your plank. Exhale to lower those knees. Send the elbows back towards the toes as you come all the way to the floor. Inhaling to roll yourself up. You can stay low here, or you could rise a little higher, but roll those shoulders back, lift that chest. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, press up to your knees, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing corgi. Lovely. Deep breath here. Exhale, sink those heels down. Now, on our next inhale, you're either going to step that left foot straight between the hands or stretch it up, three-legged dog first, and then step it through between the hands. We're going to ground our foot for warrior one. So the toes are pointing towards the top right-hand corner of the mat. There's a bend through that front leg. And we're going to reach the arms up and find a Kali mudra. So we're connecting the first two fingers and sending them straight up. Standing up lovely and tall. Now I'm thinking very much like a coronation ceremony here, which I know very little about, but I know there's a sword involved, right? And dubbing involved. So try and stick with me on this. Let's reach the chest all the way up, finding that really kind of tall spine, feeling regal and tall, important, lovely. And then release the hands back to a clasp behind you. Reach that chest up as you press the hands back. And then can you bow? So we're like bowing down before we're about to get crowned. Bow your body to the right hand side of that leg. Keep that bend in the front knee. Lift those arms overhead, and you're trying not to press your weight too much on this left hand side. You're trying to release yourself down to this right side. Can you curl your left hip back and round a little too? Can you release the top of your head down towards the mat? Lovely. Keep that front leg bending. We're here for one more breath. And then as slowly as you can, start to lift yourself up. We're going to shift this back foot, ready for a warrior two. So the toes in the back foot are now facing the side. You might be a little wider with your feet too. Send your arms out to the side, bend over that front knee, sending it over towards the little toe side of the foot. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. Relax your face, relax your jaw. Lovely. And now here comes the dubbing, the official dubbing. So we're going to turn towards the front of the mat, bringing our right arm with us and tilting to a lunge. So turning onto those back toes, arms in front of us. Can you find that Kali mudra again? So those first fingers in front of you. As we inhale, we're going to lift the arms. Exhale, we're going to send them over to the right slightly. So like you're dubbing the left hand, the left shoulder of someone on the right side, your side. Rights and lefts, who knows? Inhale, lift the hands up. Exhale, dub their other shoulder. Send your sword down to the other side. Nice, one more time. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale to the other side. And then one more time, lift it up. Exhale, send it to the other side. Nice, and then reach the arms all the way up, release that clasp, send the fingers all the way up towards the ceiling, release the shoulders away from the ears. And can you step this back foot up beside the left foot? I've got my feet apart, you could have yours together. We're sitting into our chair pose or our throne pose for today. As you sit the bum all the way back, look down to your knees, check that they're not drifting in front of your toes so you can still see your toes, and reach those arms up and back. You could bring those arms wide or down to heart center if that feels like too much on the shoulders. Let's take one more breath here. I know I've been chatting away. I know it's feeling tough. Take one more breath. And then stand all the way up. Lovely. As you exhale, crown yourself again. Bring those hands down to the top of your head. Open those elbows up. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, send them out wide, bum back. Fold it down. Inhale, lift your hands to your shins. Find a half lift. Exhale, release it down. And let's step left and right foot back. Downward facing dog. Deep breath here. Exhale it out. Lovely, one more deep breath in your downward facing corgi. Releasing it out. Now on your inhale, you're going to step your right foot through. So you could lift it up to the air for that three-legged dog and then step it through between the hands. We're grounding that back foot ready for a warrior one. So the back toes facing the top left-hand corner. Lovely. Reach those arms up. We're finding that Kali Mudra. So those first fingers together, sending the arms up. Can you try and wrap this right hip back a little? So we're trying to keep our hips square and facing the front. Bending through that front leg, that back leg is straight. Roll the shoulders back. Deep breaths. And then let's release the hands all the way back behind us. Can you put the opposite thumb on top as you find that clasp? Send the hands back, roll those shoulders back, lift the chest, and let's find that deep bow. Ready for the coronation. Fold yourself down into the inside of this right thigh. And you kind of want to wrap that right hip back and behind you. As you fold down, can you try not to be too much on that right thigh? That might not work, right? Because our bodies are all different shapes and sizes and positions. But we're trying to dangle ourselves over to the left. Nice. Can you release the tip of your head down towards the mat for one more breath? And then let's slowly peel all the way up. Yes, we're going to step that back foot so that the toes are facing out to the side. We're finding that warrior two. Gazing over that right third finger. That knee is going towards the little toe side of the feet. Finding this really strong pose. And then like we did on the other side, we're going to come onto those back toes as we bring this left arm forward. Find that Kali Mudra again while we're in this high lunge. Make sure if you're finding this really wobbly, take your feet a little wider. Find some space. And then inhale, lift the arms up. It's time to dub again. Exhale, send it over to the left. Inhale, reach the arms up. Is it just me? But like talking of dubbing makes me think of N-dubs. That 90s band? Noughties band? Exhale, send it over to the right. Unsure. Dubbing, N-dubs. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, take them over to the left. Keep that bend in the front knee. Inhale, rise the arms. Exhale, send it to the right. Yes. Inhale, rise that sword one last time. And we're going to step this back foot either alongside that right foot or together. They could be touching. Release those palms. Step your foot up. Send that bum back as we find our throne pose. Send the bum back. Check down that those knees aren't coming over those toes too much. You could open your arms out, you could bring your hands to heart center, but wherever you are, can you sit lower for one final breath? Yes. Oh boy. And then inhale, stand all the way up. Exhaling for one last crowning, bringing your hands down to your head, opening the elbows up, reaching the chest up. Inhale, reach the arms, and this time bring them down through heart center as we stand at the top of our mats. And bring your hands down beside you, palms facing forward, roll the shoulders back. There's a little bend in your knees, there's a little softness. You're rolling those shoulders back, lifting that chest up strong and proud. And take a couple of breaths here. You might close down the eyes. I quite naturally have. Just helping you to kind of come back into yourself. Away from all of the excitement and movement and many other things that might be flying around for you. Just checking back in with yourself. Nice work. Gently blink open those eyes. Gosh, thanks for sticking with me as well through the tenuous links There's a couple more to come, so don't stop now. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up, spread the arms, and exhale, let's take it down. So send the arms out wide, bum comes down behind you. Fold, inhale, lift your hands to your shins, find that lift. Exhale, release it down. And we're going to step our feet back to our downward facing corgi for one last time. And then can you send your knees down as wide as the mat, or they could come just underneath you. Send your bum back to your heels for this really deep bow. I was trying desperately to find a curtsy pose, or to add in some sort of curtsy pose. I decided this really deep bow would be the best. Send your bum back towards your heels and really sink yourself down. Take one more breath. And then gently come up to look at your hands. You're just going to walk your hands back towards you and then come to sit on your bottom. So come down onto your bum. We're going to take the feet out in front of us and we're going to find a diamond shape for what is probably the most tenuous link of them all. So we're not coming into a Baddha Konasana, we're not bringing the feet really close in, more of a diamond shape. So the feet are quite out wide, they're away from your body, your knees are out to the side. And this is because this Platinum Jubilee, there is a new edition 50p coming out to commemorate, to celebrate. And this was the closest I could get to the hexagon, pentagon of a 50p. It's going to be embarrassing, I ain't got a clue how many sides it's got. But here, you've got some corners, you've got some lines. There's a vague resemblance, right? Now inhale, lift your chest up. You might bring your hands, I'm quite enjoying bringing my hands under my shins and then kind of pressing them around my heels. You might want to bring them over the top. Or you might kind of bring them flat over, palms facing up, whatever feels good for you. But kind of find a bit of a lift of the chest and then fold yourself down. If this feels really uncomfortable or you feel like you're really curving over, you could sit up on something here, a blanket or a block or a pillow, a cushion, kind of ideally on the edge of a blanket or a cushion. And that little height will help you to just kind of fold over, feel like you're anchoring a little more as you're able to fold. Take a deep breath here. Really sink into it on the exhale. Maybe imagining that on the inhale there's a slight lift, a slight opening of the chest, and on the exhale you're opening those thighs, those knees a little wider, sinking down into it a little more. Take a couple more breaths here. Maybe keeping that movement. That lift of the chest on the inhale and that real sinking, deepening on the exhale. And then really gently unraveling your hands if they're there and gently bringing yourself all the way up. We're just going to send the right leg out long, left sole of the foot into the inside of the right thigh. Right leg is straight in front of you. Reach the arms all the way up. And exhale, send the bum back as you find a fold over this right leg. And again, finding that lift and then that release over. So really kind of reaching that chest as far forward as you can. You could hold on to that foot if that feels kind of natural for your body, but only if it doesn't kind of make you feel like you're straining and like you're pulling yourself down. Try and find this kind of fold shape from your core, from your center. And then tuck your chin into your chest, just walk your hands back as you lift yourself up, right? We're gonna bring this right hand to the inside of that right leg. So it's a bit of a kind of twist. Normally we do this when the leg's a bit out to the side, so there's more space. So just release that right hand to the inside and we're going to lift our left arm and find a side bend here. So it might feel quite tight and constricting, so you can walk this right hand up to open this left shoulder up a little more to the ceiling. So rather than folding like we were doing on the last one, we're opening up to the side to find that side bend, to find that stretch down the left hand side. Length all the way from those left fingertips, all the way down to that left seat. And then inhale, lift yourself all the way up. We're going to switch the legs. So take that left leg out long, right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Leg is straight out in front of you, toes are flexed. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, send that bum back. Reach that chest as far forward as you can to find this fold. Hands coming down to the side of the leg. Could hold on to the foot, but try not to strain. Taking some deep breaths here. It's quite normal, well, it just is normal that our bodies will feel different on different days. And so noticing as well if you've got any feelings, any emotions towards where your body is today or what it's doing. Kind of trying to find some, I guess, acceptance of the way that your body is today, what it feels like today, which might not be what it looked like yesterday or even 10 minutes ago. Just noticing. Tuck your chin into your chest and walk yourself all the way back. And then let's find that side bend again. So left hand coming down to the inside of that left leg. Reach that right arm up and over. Remembering you can always walk this left hand back a bit to open that right shoulder up to the side. Length through from those right fingertips all the way down the side to the right seat. Deep breath here. Exhale it out. Lovely. And then gently release that right hand. Bring yourself all the way up. Now these final couple of poses might not suit everybody. The reason that we're heading towards our shoulder stand is because it is supposedly the queen of the yoga poses. So apt, right, for a Jubilee special. So we're going to first come into a plow. Again, might not be for you. If all of these, you're just like, no, none of these, I'm going to give you another option, which is especially good if you've got a wall nearby. You can bring yourself up to the wall, side on, and then you're going to bring your legs up and turn so that you're taking your legs up the wall, hello from upside down, and just release everything. Let yourself have some good inversion time, because that's what we're wanting to do with our shoulder stand, right? We're wanting to have our legs on top of our head, turn the balance of things, which is what you're going to be doing there. So you can do that. You can do that equally without a wall, hanging your legs up, slide a cushion or like something comfy, a pillow underneath that lower part of your back, your sacrum, or come with me. So I'm going to take a couple of rocks and rolls. You can, or not, whatever you would like. And then take your feet all the way back to your plow pose. Maybe your toes come to touch on the floor, maybe they don't. Whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you snuggle your shoulders underneath. You clasp those hands back behind you. Finding this, like we're doing in our forward fold, when we're seated and folding over our legs, in a slightly different shape. And then you're going to move your hands to your back. Try and snuggle your shoulders, your elbows in a little. And then maybe lifting one leg and maybe the other, to find your shoulder stand. And we're trying to stack everything on top of each other. You should be pretty active here. So you should be really pressing your body up in as straight as a line as it wants to go today. So really keep everything going. Keep everything activating to help support you. It's a strong old pose. If you can, we're going to hold this here for another 6-7 breaths, so that we can really take advantage of the blood flowing back the other way, right? We spend the majority of our time, even if we're not standing, upright, right? We spend a lot of time with blood flowing down the body. So this kind of turning of everything is so good for us. So keep it here for just the last couple of breaths. Nice work. Send those legs back overhead. So go back to that plow pose and then place your hands down onto the mat, and they're going to act as your brakes as you really gently start to lay your body, and just go slow here. Lay your body all the way back down. And you're going to press your hands down into the mat, but slide them underneath your bum. Take your legs out long. Come up to your forearms. Take the top of your head back behind you. And this is our fish pose. So we're lifting the chest up. You can point those toes. Just finding this little counter stretch to all of that bending in the other direction. And then really gently lay yourself down, untuck those legs, and we're going to slowly bring the knees into the chest. Give them a squeeze, give them a hug. Side to side. Lovely. And if you're with your legs up the wall and you're still there because it is the best pose ever and you're chilling out, come join us. Come and join us with your legs in. I'm going to finish off with a happy baby. So sending the knees as wide as the armpits, arms up the inside of the legs, holding on to little toe side of the feet, shining those soles up. Because the Queen was once a baby too, right? No matter how many, 70 years of being the Queen. It's quite an achievement. Okay? So whatever your thoughts of the royal family, because I know there are many differing out there, that's a significant time and space of your life to be doing something so specific, right? As someone who's flitted from job to job quite a lot, or has visited different professions and things like that, I think that shows some serious commitment and loyalty, I guess. Take one more breath here. And then you're gently going to release your legs down. Take any kind of last things that you would like. You might like a twist to each side. And then I'm going to encourage you to lay yourself out long, snuggle those shoulders underneath, and have some time, a couple of minutes, maybe, hopefully more if you can, to just release. Close the eyes down and just breathe deeply. Thanks so much for joining me, and once again for tolerating all of my really tenuous links. I love a theme, don't I? I'd love it if you subscribed, and I would love it if you liked it, if you told me, or if you didn't like it. I'd love any sort of feedback. So thank you. Really appreciate you watching this, and I'll see you next time.